pretty scary.
But everything is holding tight.
For now.
For now. So you do have a few moves. So for instance, you could go against Parham Maghsoodloo.
Okay, and Parham Maghsoodloo has launched the first surprise in this game. Just judging by the clock times, we're 7 moves deep here. Should we do a recap?
Yep, let's take a look at this Catalan.
As we see players watching this one in the background is Andrey Esipenko's move. As he starts the game with white, he starts with the Catalan. We actually thought he had prepared the Catalan earlier in the tournament, for example against Fabiano Caruana, who managed to cut across those plans. G3 early is a way of forcing the bishop to G2, occupying the long diagonal, and this is a move order trick to prevent, for example, the Queen's Indian defense. D5, so a transposition to the Queen's Gambit decline, and bishop B4 check variation.
Intercepted with the bishop, bishop E7.
Black drops back.
And yeah, black is trying to argue that the bishop is not the best placed piece there on D2, would much rather be on B2. That's the whole rationale. But H6, a surprising move, but it has become trendy. We saw Anish Giri employ a similar plan in his game earlier on in the tournament.
Yeah, H6 tends to be a very useful waiting move in a lot of these variations anyway. For example, as you mentioned, Ivanka, often this bishop is misplaced. It wants to be either around on B2, or this knight actually wants to occupy D2. That's one of the other main reasons you drive the bishop there. But if it ever lands on F4, if it ever moves again, now there would be ideas of G5 to attack the bishop, or at least knight to H5 to kick it back. And in the meantime, we do see those exact moves, as we predicted on the board in Queen to C2. Just a very typical Catalan, but black having played this slightly odd H6 move, so taking the opponent out of opening theory as early as possible.
Yep, and that is very much Maghsoodloo's style. I mean, Maghsoodloo is a fabulous player, absolutely fantastic, but if I was going to say there was one small weakness, it's probably in his openness. He's not as cutting edge as the rest of them. He's very much a maverick, he likes to go his own ways, and I've noticed one thing about him, he's excellent in cramped positions.
Yes, especially when he broke onto the scene as a teenager, kind of in his early teens, Maghsoodloo. He was severely underrated, but he literally used to sit there on his back ranks and just kind of curl up into a ball, kind of only strike later. He's really capitalized on that style. Meanwhile, he interestingly gave an interview just 3-4 years ago saying he worked 16 hours a day on chess. So for someone who works 16 hours a day, surprising that their openings might be that weak spot.
Yeah, he's a man who doesn't do things by half. I mean, I also once, I don't know whether it was, but he once went shopping for 11 hours.
11 hours.
11 hours is pretty good. But David, I actually, you know how you like to play on words, make puns, etc.
Yeah.
Well, I decided to consult ChatGPT.
Okay.
And see what kind of play on words it could make on the players' names.
Aha.
Are you interested in finding out? Some of them are really bad. Like some of them are not okay. The Hikaru Nakamura one was quite good. a result in the women's section, and Vaishali did beat Tan Zhongyi, so she now moves on to the sole lead with 8 points. But half a point behind her is Anna Muzichuk, who beat Daisy Corey.
Yeah, and actually after the time scramble in the open section, we might go back later and recap how those games finished. We know the results. But first of all, we do have some tension as the players are building up to move 40 here on board 2 and 3. Some potential for players to catch up with Hikaru in the lead. Esipenko, we do see the evaluation bars on the side of our screens. It looks like he's winning. But as Nakamura said, Maghsoodloo is such a tricky customer. Some swindling chances here, of course.
Yes, definitely some swindling chances. Can we go over to the Dayak against? Did that happen? Parham has been riding the wave for a while, but and surviving.
Yeah, and he's surviving for a while. But Nakamura, he jinxed Maghsoodloo here because he said it's a Maghsoodloo type of position, the swindle imminent. Unfortunately, there's just no way to prevent Rook H8. And after taking this pawn, really nice drop back first, forcing the black queen away, because in this position, if you'd taken the rook, there would have been a nasty checkmate on h1. So first you drive the black queen away, and only once she'd moved, then he cashed in with the material and rook d8. Forced a checkmate, simply no way to save the black king on the dark squares.
Okay.
Esipenko, on form?
He is on form, and just to recap what is happening in the Vincent Keimer